Star-Lord is probably one of the best rush heroes out in the game. At least top 5 you can easily make the argument for. And Star-Lord Rush is a lot of fun to do if you have not done it often. Actually, Star-Lord Aggression Rush is generally how I beat Ronin. A lot of people wonder how I beat Ronin somewhat frequently or consistently at least. And it's a rush strategy with Star-Lord. It's using an Aggression Rush deck and just putting a bunch of attack events in and just wailing away, right? Pretty much. But I wanted to do a rush deck that was a little bit different. It focuses on leadership cards. This isn't talked about as much, but he actually has a really good build with leadership rush for Star-Lord. And really, he can rush with any aspect probably. But leadership's really good and it's got some interesting stuff going on. So we're going to be diving into this deck. But before we do, I want to give a big shout out to Step Into the Portal, Brant's channel. The reason being is because he does a lot of stuff with Star-Lord. If you've never seen it, I'll link it down in the description just to his channel. You can go check it out. He does a lot of live plays and he does a lot of stuff with Star-Lord. So some of this deck is inspired by a few of his different videos that I've kind of, merged together that works for me, and also that I kind of just took ideas and then changed it a little bit for my play style. So you'll see some similarities between him and myself, but I wanted to give him a big shout out because he does a lot with Star-Lord. And if you want to watch Star-Lord played Rush really well, go watch his channel. He's got a ton of videos of it, so I wanted to do that. So anyway, you'll see the deck list down in the description as well. Let's go down to the table. Let's talk about the cards that are used, and then we'll do some opening hands and closing hands. This is it. This is all you need for a Rush Star-Lord deck. And it's kind of weird to play in leadership because a lot of people will use attack events in aggression. And it's the same exact idea, but you're using all your allies to really kind of get going with that. So we'll go through the cards and what we're generally trying to do. I want to win in like 3 turns, right? That's really the rough goal. And with Star-Lord, you can win in 3 turns pretty consistently. So anyway, let's go through all the allies, just go through all the cards and talk a bit about them. One important note to know that you have to know is that each ally you control gains a guardian trait, right, for Star-Lord. And this happens right away. And this will allow you to trigger nowhere, right? So a response after a player plays a guardian ally, exhaust nowhere to draw a card. You can play any ally and they become a guardian ally and then thus let you draw a card. Right, that's a really important to note. So it's the only support I use in this deck that's added in, except for his, and the only upgrade. But that's important to note, right? A lot of people kind of miss over that. Just important to note. So let's go through the allies. And first off, we have Mockingbird. This is a bit weaker, and you can make the argument that you don't need Mockingbird. I just like the idea to get a stun on the villain to help slow them down a little bit. I think that can be pretty useful and pretty good. Spider-Man can come out swinging for 4, which is super strong. So getting him out right away to swing for 4 is nice. Gamora can swing for 2, and then after she attacks, we can discard until we get an event card, which we do want some of these event cards that are going to be really strong for us. Rocket, again, to kind of take out any minions that are in the way, maybe thwart if need be, but past that he's not really doing too much for me. I'd probably use him as a resource at that point. Drax to swing for 3, which is a lot of attack, and then Nick Fury, we probably actually do it with 2 damage, and then he does 4 damage to enemy when he comes in. I would probably use him that way more often than getting more card draw. I don't generally need more card draw unless it's like the very first thing, but if it's a later on step in the game, I'm just trying to do a ton of damage. Then we would get Goliath as well. Goliath gets +4 attack until the end of the phase. At the end of the phase, discard Goliath. So again, he could be swinging for 5, which is crazy. Black Panther is going to help us get certain leadership cards from our discard pile to attach it to him. And what we're looking for is Blaze of Glory, which we'll get into in a little bit. And then Giant Man, every time he gets +2 attack when he has 3 or more remaining hit points. So this is going to be his like first 2 attacks. He's going to be swinging for 4. So you can tell I have a lot of heavy damage allies, but we also have one with Rocket and one with Mockingbird to kind of like help with the board state a little so that I don't get overwhelmed. But you could switch them out for more, again, attack heavy allies if you'd rather do that. That's absolutely something you can do. It's just for me, I like to stun the villain if I get the opportunity. And again, sometimes I get tripped up on thwarting. Star-Lord has 2 threat removal, which isn't bad, but I'm not really using any other cards. So sometimes I do that, and sometimes there's like a minion that comes out that's pretty strong, and it's nice to get Rocket to do 4 damage to it. So that's the only like reason I have that going on. Now, Meditation is such a good card for him because you exhaust your alter ego and play a card from your hand, reducing its resource cost by 3. So this is going to be really good right off the bat. We're trying to get one of these big allies to start swinging and start blocking for us or whatever. Does a lot of damage. So actually, let's do this one first. Welcome aboard. So when we're in our Guardian side, it's a hero action. Reduce the resource cost of the next ally played this turn by 2. Again, this is a great way to reduce the cost of all these cards significantly. Last Stand, you can take out. I've just tended to use it at the very end when I'm making the final push. So when an ally you control attacks, it gets +3 for that attack. After that attack resolves, discard that ally. So we're not doing any ready up stuff. And again, I'm just using Last Stand for the very end push, because if I'm getting an ally that's swinging for like 4, whatever we said, and add 3 more, and that's swinging for 7, that's a crazy amount. Now, Blaze of Glory is the big card that we want. Once we get a couple allies out there, each Guardian character gets +2/+2 this phase. At the end of the round, deal 1 damage to each Guardian character. That's one when we have a few Guardian characters out there, right? Preferably 3 or 4 allies would be fantastic, but that doesn't always work out. Then we're doing the Blaze of Glory push, and that's why we're using Black Panther to get them at the end. And again, everyone is a Guardian under Star-Lord. We have our normal doubles. I've seen some people run blue doubles as well with this and take out like the Last Stands and put one other card in. I think you could do that too if you were a little worried about resource generators, or maybe putting gray doubles for the rest of them. There's a couple different ways you could probably do it. But yeah, I've seen people do that. And then Nowhere, right? We have Nowhere, like I said, to increase the ally limit by 1, but also the big thing is once we play any of our allies, we get to draw a card. Now, as far as other attacking and threat removal stuff, like, his kit's really good, and it's really strong, and it's really fast by itself. So he's got a lot of attack in here. He's got a lot of good stuff in here. So let's pop up and talk a little bit about strategy. Now, when you see this deck from the outside, you might be thinking, I can't imagine how this possibly works. This seems really weird. It seems like it wouldn't work, but it actually does. And again, the idea is you want to be playing things as fast and as frequently as possible. Hopefully, right in the beginning, we can get 2 allies out there right away. The one tricky thing for me is that I think early on, it's not terrible to take some damage. We don't have a way to heal up except for flipping back down, but flipping back down isn't going to be the worst thing. We do have some threat removal options, which aren't going to be the worst thing in the world. So we have the ability to do that, and we're going to flip down maybe once now and again with Meditation, but realistically, it's really in the beginning, right? Meditation we want to get right away so we can get an ally super cheap. Past that, the game would have to go past 3 rounds for me to flip down again. Sometimes I've done a rush strategy, and it's going to sound weird, but it makes sense. Where in turn 1, you flip up, you do all your stuff, and then on turn 2, you do all your stuff, and then you flip down, and then hopefully you get another Meditation so you can flip up again. Because generally speaking, there's 2 main schemes, so you let the first one pop so that the second one you can go win on if you're trying a 3-turn strategy. It sounds kind of weird, but once you start practicing it and get the actual idea of it, it makes a lot more sense, and it's kind of it works kind of well. But it's very dependent on the villain and what you're doing, what the villain's doing. So anyway, let's drop down. Let's do some practice opening hands and then some closing hands. Now, normally what we would do at this point is a few opening hands and then some closing hands. But the thing is, I'm generally trying to win by like turn 3. So I think what we're going to do is show an example of how I would try to win by turn 3. I think that's the best way to do this and get an idea. Might take the turn 4, but we'll do 14 life and then 18 life, right? Going through this. So hopefully this will show how good Star-Lord can be, how quick he can be. And let's shuffle this up. So we'll try it in 3 turns. You know what we'll do? Because I'm really bad at keeping track of things, we'll also use the other one as a turn counter, just so that we have it. All right, so for turn 1, right? And go up 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, I'm looking for Meditation. There we go. We have a double, which is cool. Now, Welcome Aboard could be nice, but I don't think it makes a ton of sense yet. So we're going to get rid of everything else. So that's all 4. So 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, geez. Okay. Now we do our setup where we get to look for a gun, get to put that into play. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do Smooth Talker to try to get another ally into play. Hopefully. And what we could do, because we don't need both our meditations, I'm going to Smooth Talk meditation out. So Goliath. Okay, perfect. So that goes back on top. All right. What I want to do is we're going to use Meditation to exhaust Peter to reduce the cost of an ally by 3. We will get in Black Panther and use, we'll throw away Blaze of Glory. And so that gets Black Panther in for free. Now, after he enters play, we get to look for a blue leadership card. We're going to take the other Blaze of Glory, Put that on. Cool. 2, 3. Oh boy. Okay, we're gonna flip up to hero side. 2, 3, 4 to get in Goliath. That seems not great because we lose our gun. So what if we did... All right, what we'll do is deal ourselves a face down encounter card. So we have one bad card now at this point. Ready your hero and draw one card. It's the meditation, which is fine. Because now what we can do is we can get Elemental Gun by taking a second face down card, which is risky. Oh, no, that didn't work out the way I wanted to. No, we can't do that. Never mind. What we can do is... 2, 3, 4. Do we want an ally? We would get 2 bad cards. Elemental Gun. No, we need the gun. So we're going to use a double and meditation to put the gun into play. And then what I would do at this point is, again, if we have to thwart, but I would now attack for 2. So that brings him down to 12. I would use our gun, throw away Goliath. That deals 3 damage, so they're down to 9. And then Black Panther would attack for another 2. So he's down to 7. And then we ready everyone up. And we draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. Now, we would probably get hit in the face a little bit, which would stink, but that'd be okay. We have Nick Fury, Gutsy Move, Blaze of Glory, Daring Escape. All right. We would probably get a lot of bad cards at this point, too, which is also not great. So it's kind of rough to see what that would be like. But hopefully we're hanging in at that point. So then what we would do is... we could do 4. 4, 8. Okay, so we take a face down card. We would play Nick Fury, and I would throw away Gutsy Move. I would actually draw 3 cards at this point. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we have a face down card right from playing Nick Fury. I would then play a Blaze of Glory. And I probably would throw away Jet Boots and another Blaze of Glory to do it. So everyone's swinging now for extra amounts, right? Everyone's swinging for extra amounts, which is pretty good. So everyone's swinging for +2. So we can do 4, 8, which knocks the villain down to the next stage, which brings him up to 18 life. They get knocked out, which is fine. We would swing then for 4. So that brings it down to 14. And then we have 1 face down bad card. I would throw away 3 cards to do Sliding Shot, which does 5, 6, 7 damage. So that brings this down to 7. Now, the good news is he would take 1 consequential. He would take 1 extra. We would take an extra, but we now have a blocker with Nick Fury. So we ready up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nick Fury would get hit in the face, which is fine. It would be our turn. Hopefully nothing too crazy happens. Like I said, it's now turn 3. They have 7 life left, and we're going to win. We are going to win, which is cool. Okay, so what we'll do is attack for 2. Brings it down to 5. We can then do Daring Escape to deal ourselves a face down card. So we have 1, Ready Your Hero. We get to draw a card, which is another Sliding Shot. So at this point, we could play Sliding Shot for free, get another face down card, which deals 9 damage, which knocks out the villain. So they are done in turn 3. And then we could also use another double and a meditation to play another Sliding Shot to deal another 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 damage. And then we can use Elemental Gun, throw away a card to deal 3 more damage. And then we could deal 2 damage. 3-turn win, and we overkilled the villain by like 10 or something. And then that's how it will work, right? Like, it seems kind of weird the first time you play. And again, we don't know what the bad cards were, so it could have been really bad and we could have been scrambling. But we had a blocker. And if I didn't have Nick Fury in, I probably would have flipped down at that point to go to Alter Ego side to let the main scheme probably go to the second side scheme. But yeah, that's the rough idea. All right, let's do this one more time because it's really quick to go through 3 rounds. Doesn't take too long. So let's do that really fast one last time. Shuffle this up and then try again. So hopefully you can, again, see how this will work. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. We're looking for meditation and allies. So treasure deck and discard pile. So we could discard Elemental Gun because we could do the setup to get him back. Double and Goliath is really nice, and I would get rid of everything else. So we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, okay. So we didn't get Meditation, which is weird. But I would do Smooth Talker and get Drax out of here and see what the next one is, which is a Gamora. Okay, this is a tougher hand. Oh, I'm supposed to get my gun too, so we get the gun out of there. What I would probably do at this point is play Nick Fury. So we use a 2, 3, 4 to get Nick Fury. So we draw 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. There's Meditation. Okay, cool. So we'd exhaust, use Meditation to probably get Drax into play. Flip up to our hero side. Get a face down card with Elemental Gun. And then at this point, I would actually use Blaze of Glory. I would dump 2 cards to do Blaze of Glory. So now Drax, well, first Nick Fury can attack for 4, so they're down to 10. Drax can swing for 5, so they're down to 5 life. And that's all we can do. And everyone would take a damage, which kind of stinks, but that's okay. And then we ready up. Oops, this is supposed to be on turn 1. And then we draw back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, Nick Fury would take the next hit, get knocked out. That's fine. Now we're on turn 2. Sliding shot. Okay, cool. Cool. This is less good. I do not like this. All right, so what we would probably do is use a double and gutsy move to play a sliding shot. Just deal the 5 damage. It would just do 5 damage straight up. That is fine. They go to the next phase, which does 18 life, or it has 18 life. And then we could throw away a card to do Elemental Gun to do 3 damage. 7, 6, 5. They would do 3 more. So this is down to 12. And then we would let's just say we thwart 2 to keep the main scheme down. And then we're going to flip down for the next round. And then Jet Boots, I'm going to just throw away. And then we draw up to 6 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cool. Now they would thwart a little bit. Hopefully we kept it down a little bit. Hopefully everything's okay. We get on to turn 3 now. Okay. Welcome aboard. Black Panther. Gutsy move. Blaze of Glory. 2, 4. Okay. So what I would do is Smooth Talk Nowhere. Let's see what comes up. It's Meditation. Interesting. Would I do Meditation? 2, 3, 4. Plays that. Yeah. So what I would actually do is I would flip up the Star-Lord. I would do double Welcome Aboard. Actually, no. We would do Welcome Aboard to reduce Black Panther down to 2. So now Black Panther's in. Then what we could do is get a face down card to do Blaze of Glory so everyone gets +2 attack. I'm sorry. I should also probably put another Blaze of Glory there. Now you could probably stack. No. Yeah, we could probably actually stack that, but we're not going to do that because that'd be kind of cheat. Not cheating, but be way too strong. So everyone gets +2 attack, right? So that's 4. That's 4 damage, brings us down to 8 life, or brings him down to 8 life. Then another 3, 4, 5 brings us down to 3. And then we do 4 damage, so they're down to -1. And then we could throw away a card to do Elemental Gun, which does 3 more damage. Again, turn 3, enough damage was done. You could probably stack the Blaze of Glories if you really wanted to. I was kind of hoping to get like a Last Stand or something like that. That was like twice we didn't get Last Stand, which again, it would have been nice to like use Drax because he was on his final leg and you had to swing for another 3, right? But that's like that's the rough idea of how you would do this. It wouldn't even take as many bad cards. Well, no, I think we took less bad cards this time. So this would probably been like an even easier, cleaner win overall. But yeah, that's it. That's how you would play this deck. Hopefully this inspires you to try rush decks. Not always an aggression, right? That's not always the best way to do it. This way does work pretty well. It's pretty strong. It can beat Ronin. For those that are wondering, can this deck beat Ronin? I have done it to beat Ronin. I'm not as good against Ronin as I am with the aggression one, but that's because I'm still like, I've only played about 6 games with this deck and I'm still playing more. but you get the rough idea, right? You don't mind taking the hit one time if need be, but if an ally needs to take a blocker, you do that. But you get at least 2 allies out there, plus yourself swinging with Blaze of Glory, which is just such a good card. Oh no, it's max per 1 round, so we couldn't have stacked it. I talked about that before, but we couldn't have done that, so just FYI. But each Guardian character gets +2/+2. You know, Star-Lord is a character. Everyone that you have is a character. And at the end, they would each take 1 extra damage, which is just such a fine trade-off because you're only going to get hit for 3 rounds. Like that's it. Again, sometimes I've had it happen where it lasts for 4 rounds, maybe 5 if I play really slow. But even then, there were so many allies we didn't touch. We didn't even, for that last time, we didn't even get our big attack cards that much. So, like I said, there's just so much you can do with this deck. It's really, really strong. Star-Lord's really strong. Again, I like him more in that rush aspect. I think he makes a lot of sense versus like a build out leadership aspect. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you enjoyed this teaching. Let me know down in the comments if you played Star-Lord in different ways you play him. I'm always fascinated by this stuff. And if you like this video and want to see more like it, I recently did Gamora. It's right here. You can check it out and how I play Gamora. It's a lot of fun. And if you made this fun video, do me a huge favor. Make sure to like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And I'll see you all next time.